How do you kind of balance your work and life? Let me share some important 3 points for you here. Okay, and the challenge becomes even bigger. The challenge becomes even bigger when there are simultaneous, priorities, which you understand. You definitely know that one is not a higher priority than the other. It looks like everything is equally important, but how do you deal with all these things, right? So let's say, as a working professional, um, you get multiple requests, let's say from your family, from at work, and all of these things. How do you deal with so many, priorities that are mutually trying to get the higher spot, right? So the first thing that I really want you to focus on, truly learn the importance of setting boundaries, which means, in the context of work, typically what ends up happening is your calendar simply gets filled up with all kinds of meetings. Let me ask you this question: how many meetings in a week do you get request on, where you know that either not going to be useful for you, or two, you are not going to be adding any value to that meeting? I used to get tons and tons of requests, meeting requests, where I knew for sure that I cannot add any value into this meeting, or that meeting is not going to be useful to me. But still, just getting forwarded, and all kinds of meetings and all kinds of emails that we get pounded upon. That's at work. At home, as a working husband, as a working professional, you are expected to take care of your family. You have your expectations from the in-laws. Give me a smiley if that's also the case. You have expectations from your own family, from your in-laws, from people from your family who are traveling and coming to your city. They expect you to pick them up, and I'm not saying none of them are bad. You can do all of those things, provided you really understand this one important thing, that everything in your life comes at a cost. What are you willing to pay is the question you need to ask yourself. Ultimately, that cost, right? What's the cost you're willing to pay? And if you don't know how to set boundaries, a lot of people who struggle with this, they literally struggle with this. They think that, I have to take up everything because it's coming from my family, because it's coming from my boss. What happens is overwhelm, out of balance. That overwhelm creates out of balance. It's like this: you're given a plate, you're given a whole plate full of food, and someone told you that, hey, you know what? Hey, Karthik, just go and eat this up. I want you to finish this plate. The problem is, a lot of times we think, I own this plate. Everything on this plate belongs to me. I have to finish everything, and I have to finish everything now. This is exactly how a lot of us have structured our life. Like everything becomes urgency. But the real fact is, unless it's a very serious situation, unless that is the case, you very well know, right, that everything need not be attended to immediately. You can say, hey, you know what? I'm working on something that's really, really urgent for me now. You know what? I'm sorry. I would love to be in that party. I cannot do that now. When it was release time in my office, and I had to call my it was Friday evening. I called one of my colleagues and said, hey Santosh, you know what, tomorrow you have to work. I know it's Saturday, I'm sorry about it, but we have to work and complete this. You know what he told me? He said, Karthik, over the last 5 weekends, this is the first weekend which I'm getting for myself. How many of you have gone through that in your life? Weekend after weekend after weekend, just pleasing your family, pleasing your in laws, pleasing your extended family, friends, relatives, everyone else, but never prioritizing ourselves. If you have done that, please type me in the comment box. The reason why I can confidently tell you this, that we all go through this, is because I have done this multiple times. Until I realized that I was absolutely burnt out. Absolutely burnt out. Like I did not even feel like, uh, I could not even sleep. Even for you to, if you're so stressed, how many of you know that if you're so stressed out, you can't even sleep peacefully? Even for you to sleep peacefully, you cannot be like overly stressed. Like your BP levels cannot be too high. You cannot be constantly drinking coffee and tea and all that, right? That cannot be happening. That's going to screw up the whole system, our systems. So for work life balance, very first thing, please learn. Here is your superpower. Okay, can I get a promise from you that if I give you this superpower, you will utilize this effectively from this today, this night onwards? Type will do in the comment box. I'm going to give you a superpower now. Type will do in the comment box. Yeah. The superpower I want you to have from today is the power of saying no. It's the power of saying no. No. I mean, when someone asks you, you don't have to immediately say no, but for you, right, internally, for you, everything starts with a no. And then you have to prove to yourself that this is very important, therefore I'm going to say yes to this. If you think this is going to be a crazy superpower, please type SP in the comment box. I'm telling you, this one thing can avoid burnouts, can give you so much of peace of mind. And I'm not saying be a bad person. That's not what I'm saying. That's why I told you three values. Family is a very important value for me. It's not like you don't have to be disrespectful while saying no. You can be respectful, but still go and say, I'm really sorry, I need this time for myself.